Hello and welcome to the program. This is Minority Opinions Podcast. I'm Hito, the son of Yoda.
And I'm Ricardo, son of Darth Revan.
And today, this is our last final episode of 2019.
We made it, boys. We finally made it.
We made it. So we are going to end this in a spectacular fashion. This is going to be a slightly longer episode. We are going to talk about Star Wars, The Rise of Skywalker. We're going to do a non-spoiler review first, and then after that, we're going to do our best of 2019. We're going to talk about some of our favorite films of this year, and then after that, we will do spoiler-filled discussion on The Rise of Skywalker, because we have a lot of things to say.
Full opinions about the film, so all your Reddit people out there who said stuff about The Last Jedi, we've got some opinions about this movie, so get ready for that.
Yeah, buckle up. It's going to be a bumpy ride.
It's literally no road. That's what it is. We're not even on a road. We're just falling off a cliff. All right, so Rise of Skywalker, directed by J.J. Abrams, is the conclusion to the Disney sequels. Or what are they called?
Sequel trilogy? I don't know.
Sequel trilogy? Because then what's the new trilogy gonna be called?
I don't know.
The sequel? I don't know. But it's the conclusion to the 3-movie trilogy with starring like Daisy Ridley, Adam Driver, John Boyega, and Oscar Isaac.
And it's also the final chapter in the Skywalker saga. That's how they've been advertising.
Yeah, so a lot of sagas ending this year. Yeah, we got Game of Thrones ending, we got Avengers ending, we got Star Wars ending, which I didn't even know was ending, but it's Skywalker Saga's ending. So, Hito, what'd you think of it? Non-spoiler, what'd you think of it?
Okay, so we're gonna talk around this very carefully, although I'm assuming most people have seen this already.
Yeah, but we're gonna
yeah, for the 10% of people out there who still haven't seen it. I thought it was a fun movie for the most part. It drops the ball in the third act, but I was entertained for the majority of the movie. What about you?
I thought it was the most okay movie of like recent memory.
The most okay movie?
It's very okay, and there's a lot of things that bother me that I don't like, and I will agree with you. The first and second act, if you exclude the main plot point, everything else is really fun, and I really enjoyed it.
Mm-hmm.
But then once it hits the third act, I mentally just went. It was a dog whistle being constantly blown, like, like I was just like, what is going on?
Mm-hmm.
And it's such a fan servicey, Reddit-ridden movie like Rogue One.
Yeah, I would say this is the most fan fiction-y Star Wars movie of all the Star Wars movies.
Yeah, and the Rogue One did a pretty good job at being fan fiction-y.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it was just like, where's the originality in all this? Like,
No
one ever really dies. That's what the movie's called. It should be called.
Star Wars.
No one ever really dies.
Star Wars. No one ever really dies.
No one ever really dies, and our fans are like, "Oh, we know what you're talking about, but we can't spoil anything."
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, is that it?
I mean, I think there are a lot of great stuff in it. We are pretty much on the same page. I think you dislike this a little more than I did.
Yeah, I don't know. I thought after I left the theater, I was like, okay, and I sat down with hot cocoa and I thought, oh no. And then before I got on, I was like, "Oh no!" And I just kept thinking and thinking. I was like, "This is exactly what I didn't want."
There is a specific event that happens at the end of second act. Up until that moment, it was solid.
Yeah,
I was having a good time. I was enjoying the ride. For people who hated The Last Jedi, this movie will feel like Star Wars again. This is more of a sequel to The Force Awakens than it is to The Last Jedi.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it feels like a trilogy without the second act. they have the setup and they have the ending. They just don't have the development.
I agree.
That's it.
I mean,
you don't have
yeah,
any more things to say?
JJ did a lot of things to unravel The Last Jedi, and it seemed like he was trying really hard to appeal to the mass media and say, let's make it the most non-offensive Star Wars movie ever made.
Yeah, I think JJ is a solid director. Anything he's done film-wise proves that. He's a good director who knows how to make fast-moving films. If you look at MI3, his Star Trek movies, just fast-paced, lots of fun, non-offensive movies.
Yeah, I mean, he made Super 8, and then that was very fast-paced, but then it's like, just... yeah, one thing, this movie moved way too fast. It felt way too fast.
Yeah?
It like star speed. It just kept going and go. The entire it's not a spoiler, but when Poe was light speed skipping, it felt like that the entire movie.
Okay. I actually liked that part.
Yeah, me too. But it was just like, slow down. Just more parts where we're talking and John Boyega just talks about his background. I'm like, I like this. And then, nope, giant lasers, explosions, and ships.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Okay, you know what? We'll save our detailed rants for the spoiler discussions.
Yeah. So before we wrap up our non-spoiler review, where would you put this in the Skywalker saga?
I need to think about it. How about end of the podcast? I tell you.
Okay. Then.
I need to think. I need to think about this. I need to think about this very carefully.
All right. So I guess we'll do that in the spoiler section.
Yes, because part of it's spoilers and there's emotion to it. That's why.
Okay, so we will save our detailed thoughts for the later part of this podcast. Now,
yes, sir.
We're gonna talk about our favorites of 2019. Is this a ranked list? Are we gonna do a ranked list?
That's what I'm thinking. I'm not sure. I don't think we should do a ranked list because some of these movies, they're really, really good. And I don't want to say this movie is better and you should rather watch this movie because I want everybody to watch all of them.
Yeah.
Because they're terrific films.
Yeah.
So I think we should do a list non-particular order.
Okay. I'm gonna go top 3.
Top 3. I will say those will be my favorites. I'll say that.
Okay. All right. So we'll just talk about things we liked. The movies that we really liked in the beginning, and we'll do top 3. All right. So who's gonna go first?
Me.
All right.
So, okay, no particular order. Starting with number 10, I have Last Black Man of San Francisco.
All right. Still haven't seen it.
Okay, well, it's a film about Jimmy Fails the Fourth, and he's trying to reclaim a house that his grandfather owned in San Francisco, and that's the entire film. And I currently go to school in San Francisco. I've been there for 4 years, and this movie talks a bit about gentrification and what it means to have an identity in a hometown, as you slowly see it become a corporate hub for these techies who are moving in to Silicon Valley. And it's a good critique about what it means to have a home and how you critique it once it becomes something you're not used to. Like my hometown is becoming very commercialized, and I kind of relate to Jimmy Fails in that way. So it's a good little piece about San Francisco, and it's a movie about San Francisco that you rarely see about. You never see a lot of films talk about San Francisco. So definitely recommend it. Go see it. It's on Amazon Prime.
All right. So I'm going to talk about my favorites, excluding the top 3, in the chronological order, meaning the based on release dates.
Okay, make it more complicated, I see.
No, it's just some of my favorites. There are some films that some people will consider to be a 2018 release.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I'm just going to talk about it in the order of release dates. All right, so my number 10, quote unquote, number 10, If Beale Street Could Talk.
Oh my god, it's so good.
Yeah, I loved this movie. I think it is a beautiful love story, a very sad movie as well. that deals with racism.
Yes, and Nicholas Patel deserved the Oscar for Best Score, not Black Panther. That's just a fact.
I mean, all award shows are stupid, but yeah, his score is fantastic. Um, there is a section in the movie, Puerto Rico. Was it Puerto Rico or Cuba?
It's Puerto Rico.
Okay.
The Puerto Rico section.
Yeah, the Puerto Rico section, I'm curious how it's going to age.
It's going to age so bad.
But everything else, I thought it was just, so beautiful and heartbreaking at times. But just two people falling in love. Yeah, I love this movie. And Barry Jenkins knocked it out of the park. Right, like he's on a 2 for 2, Moonlight, and this one, I will watch anything this man does.
If you pay for shipping, I'll mail you the book.
No thanks.
All right, good talk. All right, number 9. This one's gonna shock you. I have Knives Out.
All right.
Rian Johnson, our little indie queen over here.
Yeah.
And I did a review last week. You should check it out. We just uploaded it. Just you check it out. It's a good episode.
Yeah.
And it's a good whodunit film. Pretty fun. It has a bit of a political side to it, and it's very intriguing because. To me, I love having Latina actresses be the star of films. I'm always a fan of that. We need more of that. And it's an overall good, fun time. I can't talk more about it without having spoilers.
All right.
Yes, sir. All right. Hito?
Okay, so my next film, I don't know which 2 films came out first, but I'm just going to talk about this one first. There's a film called High Life.
Oh, man. I didn't get a chance to see that.
Yeah, written and directed by a French master filmmaker, Claire Denis. And this is a sci-fi movie. It's about this group of criminals. They've been labeled as renegades, being sent off to the space to be the subject of this horrible experiment. That's all I'm going to say. And this is a very bleak sci-fi movie. And there are some moments in the film, there are actions in the film that will make people very uncomfortable. If you have strong opinions about rape, it's going to make you very upset. But but I really enjoyed it. I thought this was a really smart sci-fi movie. A lot of great sci-fi movies are all about going out of space to look inner space of ourselves. And this movie definitely fits that category. I thought Robert Pattinson was fantastic. He's on a roll recently. He was in Good Time. Now he was in this one. And he's in The Lighthouse, right?
Yes, sir.
And now he's going to be in the new Chris Nolan movie next year. So he's having a great career. I thought this was really worth it. So check it out.
All right. So Hito, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get that review and bring it back to Earth and bring it back to the 80s. And I'm going to show some classic car muscle with this film called Ford versus Ferrari. Now, James Mangold and stars, Christian Bale and Matt Damon. I reviewed it. We reviewed it a few months ago, and I just think it's a well done traditional film about the American kindred spirit and beating those damn Italians. I'm joking. They're great, but it's just a great story of 2 guys trying to defy the big corporations. This movie has a small theme of. Small independent innovators are better than big corporations by statistics. Star Wars. And it's just great. Does a great job at it. It makes you feel really proud to be I don't want to say American, just it makes you feel proud to be an American. I don't know how to say it. It's very inspiring to small time people who could go against bigger corporations. And I like that kind of themes. It's a dad movie, I've heard, because I don't know shit about cars, but it doesn't treat you like an idiot, but it's pretty good. It's fun for everybody. All right. Your turn, Hito.
All right. So this is yet another film that most people probably have not seen this, but I'm going to talk about it anyway. Her Smell. Written and directed by...
Damn, you saw Her Smell?
Oh, yes, I did.
Oh, damn, I'm jealous.
Yes, I did. So this is written and directed by Alex Ross Perry. He's some kind of genius. If you are not on his wavelength, you will probably hate all of his movies. Because, like, if you thought early Noah Baumbach movies were very bleak and sort of...
vicious and depressing and...
There you go, vicious and depressing. This guy just takes those words and be like, oh, you think these movies are depressing and vicious? I'm going to make it 10 times more vicious. And all of his movies are very uncomfortable. It's all about people who are selfish and abrasive. This is his latest film, and it's probably his best movie, in my opinion. I know this is a weird comparison, but this movie reminded me of Mother. Elizabeth Moss is terrific. I mean, this is probably her best performance, and this is the best performance I've seen her given. And yeah, I think this is the only Alex Ross Perry movie that ends on a somewhat lighter note, or I guess that's a wrong word. It's more tender than his other films, which is a quality that I never saw in his movies. Tenderness is not something that he did in his films. And this one does that, and there are some really moving moments towards the end. And some of the original songs that they create are actually really good. If you're interested in really uncomfortable movies, go check it out. It's quite an experience.
All right. Well, to move on, for my number 7, I had Ad Astra. I know you don't like that movie, but I ideally enjoy it. It's classic sci-fi. It's about Brad Pitt in space, finding out that his dad holds something that might fuck up Earth's communications and weather. And it's Brad Pitt's journey through space. The more he learns about himself, the more he learns about his true humanity. And I dig that kind of stuff. I really dig isolation, loneliness, and depression themes in films. I love that stuff.
I know you do.
I know. So then this movie just spoke to me. I mean, I can't go to space, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
I liked it. I really liked it. Oh my God, cinematography when like he's running toward the sun or on Mars. Oh my God, you can't get better than that.
Yeah, I thought that movie was interesting.
Okay. But yeah, definitely recommend it. Definitely Brad Pitt in space. I'm down.
All right.
This is the first time I'm gonna bring up Brad Pitt today.
Oh, okay. That's good to know.
Yeah. All right.
All right. So my number 7, I guess. It's impossible not to talk about this movie. It's the biggest film of 2019. It's Avengers Endgame.
Oh, I didn't even have that on my list.
Well, I love this movie. I really liked it when I first saw it, and then I watched it a couple more times, and now I love this movie. This is a, conclusion to, 21, 22 movies, culmination of all those films that started with Iron Man back in 2008.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I still remember the smell of the theater when I went to see Iron Man. That's a weird thing to say.
Bunch of sweaty nerds in the theater. That's what you smell.
Actually, no, it was not sweaty. There were only like 10 people in the theater. Yeah, but I just love Avengers. This movie does everything that The Rise of Skywalker failed to do.
Yeah.
It ends on a very satisfying note. It wraps up some characters' arcs in a very moving and satisfying way, and the action is great. This movie is 3 hours long, and it takes its time, but I like how it takes its time. Really great movie.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure most of our fans have seen it, and they're like, "Oh my God, Hito agrees with me." Like,
I represent the common people.
All right, I'm gonna stop you there. Because I mean, I'm probably gonna review Cats at some point, so I
Hey.
don't know. I'm excited for that movie. I'm really excited for that movie. On to number six. Tell me if this sounds familiar. Two white guys getting drunk at a lighthouse. It's The Lighthouse, starring what's his name? William Dafoe and Robert Pattinson. I love this movie. It was just two guys, very Lovecraftian kind of storytelling. Robert Eggers comes back from The Witch, which I dearly love. And this movie is just an isolation story similar to The Shining, and it was a terrific time. Just two drunk white guys becoming very violent and slightly homoerotic to each other.
Mm.
And shot in black and white, so it makes it more artsy. Definitely recommend it. It's not a spooky movie, but it'll definitely give you some weird vibes.
All right.
And you'll wanna sing some sailor tunes after you watch it.
Sailor Tunes.
Scurvy. All right, Hito. What's your number six?
All
Not
right.
six.
All right. So I'm going to keep on talking about another fun movie, John Wick Parabellum.
That's a really good movie.
Yeah.
I like that one.
Yeah. The action is insane. Like, oh my God. Apparently, some of the action was like done all in CG or something.
What?
Yeah. Or some bits of the action, but it doesn't feel like there's any visual effects in it. And yeah, if you love just pure action movies, watch John Wick. Keanu kicks ass, and I love the world building. This is the third film in the franchise, and it keeps building on this world.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, the movie looks great. The action is great. I enjoyed it thoroughly.
Okay, and he builds a gun mid-fight and shoots it. That's all you need to know.
Yeah,
And there's dogs. There's a lot of dogs.
a lot of dogs, a lot of
There's a lot of dogs.
crotch chewing and crotch kicking.
And a lot of doggos. Just a big reminder. A lot of doggos.
Yeah, a lot of doggos.
All right, halfway point, Hito. This one may be shocking to you. I'd have Parasite.
How is that shocking?
Well, people are like, well, why didn't you put Parasite as number one? I'm like, because just because.
Yeah.
And Bong Joon-ho. Is that how you
Bong
pronounce his name?
Joon-ho.
Bong Joon-ho. I don't have the tongue. It's such a well-made traditional film, and when I'm traditional, not in a bad way, but it employs the basic techniques of filmmaking and tells a very well-told story about class and classism within South Korea, which slightly resembles other metropolitan cities in the world. That's why it's very appealable to other countries, because it could happen anywhere, but it still has that Korean identity that Ho presents within the film.
Mm.
And the set design is insane, and it is better. I think it should win Best Design, like set designer Oscar. Like, it is such a good one.
Why didn't you name it as the best film of 2019?
Because certain films that have certain themes appeal to me more than this film. I'm not rich. I'm not poor. It's just I'm middle class. I'm honest.
Yes, you are.
And it's 1,000 times better than Joker, so stop saying Joker's the best film of the year, you pricks.
Yeah. Yeah, by the way, Joker is not on my list either, so.
I enjoyed Long Shot better than Joker, let's just say that.
Whoa, that's saying something.
Yeah, that's saying something, because at least Long Shot try to say something.
All right, then.
Point being, what's your number 5, Hito?
All right, so this is like Parasite, like on your list. Some people will flip out because, they'll be like, why didn't you name this as the best movie of 2019? Well, sorry. I like some films better than this movie. The Irishman.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's good. That's cool.
Yeah.
Irishman's pretty good.
Yeah, The Irishman is pretty good.
Yeah.
Really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
It's a very long movie, 3 hours and 20 minutes.
That's worth it, though.
It is worth it. It's Martin Scorsese's latest film, and I would be happy if this is his last movie. I'm sure he's gonna make a few more, but I wouldn't mind it if this was his last movie. This is an epic gangster movie that gets pretty sad. It's a very interesting film. It's poignant. It's funny. It's very violent at times. but it's a story about this one guy's life and how he basically devoted his life working for this big Italian mob network, and completely screwed up his life, or his personal life.
It's so depressing. I recommend that though.
Yeah, it's on Netflix, so every Netflix subscriber should watch this. It's great. It's a really great film.
You know, Hito, make sure when I exit the podcast today, make sure the door's a little bit open before I go. Before you go, at least. Just leave it a little bit open. I don't like it fully closed.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And all right, let's get to this next film. If it shocks anybody, then you need to see more movies. I say that with a firm fact. The Farewell. Farewell is my number 4 because Lulu Wang made a movie about family that is perfect, because I have been waiting for a film that talks about families and the dynamics of family, but in a different culture other than white people.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not saying that like fuck white people. No, it's just films need to have more range, more cultural range.
Yeah.
So Lulu Wang talks about her what's the term?
Autobiographical.
Semi-autobiographical film about her Nene, her Nene. The Farewell, it's about Aquafina's grandma learning she has cancer, and the whole film is deciding whether or not they should tell her.
Yeah.
Because apparently the film establishes that like in Asian culture, you lie to your like grandparents about the truth to keep it a secret.
Yeah, some people do.
Yeah, so then this movie, oh my god, so emotional. I just love films about like family building and films about like becoming who you, because part of it is like an American immigrant, like first generation immigrant child learning more about their homeland culture. Mm-hmm. And you know, that's kind of like me, like first generation, you know, Mexican. Mm-hmm. So, and you learn more about your background. And I love that story so much. It appeals to me because, you know, I'm not Chinese, but that same feeling of like wanting to know more about your background. It really strikes you. Mm-hmm. And I recommend it tenfold to anybody who enjoys a good heartwarming scene in family.
Yeah. It's coming out here in Japan next year, so I'm going to check it out.
Oh my god.
Yeah. It takes a while.
Yeah. That's bothersome, but you know, it's worth the wait. Mm-hmm. Number 4.
All right, number 4. Yet another sad movie, and I think you will agree, Marriage Story.
Oh my god.
Yeah, very sad movie. Great film, which is, again, also available on Netflix, just like The Irishman. Scarlett Johansson and Adam Driver are just phenomenal. I would very much like Adam Driver to win so many awards, because his performance in this is just amazing. And Noah Baumbach, this is probably his best movie. It's his most mature and heartwarming, and also just beautifully sad movie.
Oh my god, this movie is so depressing. Not depressing. It's just so sad to see mom and dad break up. It's so hard.
I mean, yeah. And it doesn't feel like it. He doesn't reduce these characters to caricature. And it's very even-handed. It doesn't feel one-sided. I know some people said this movie takes side of Charlie's, but I very much disagree. And this movie is also, even though this is a sad movie, it has so many moments of just laughter. It's a very funny movie. And it's gonna warm your heart and shatter your heart completely and put it back again.
Adam Driver just wants to be a good dad.
Yeah, they both want to be a good parent.
Scarlett Johansson's a good mother. That's why I don't say it that much. She's a good mother. Just Adam Driver wants to be a good dad.
Yeah.
Starts crying again. Mm-hmm. Number 3.
All right, so
okay. Oh shit, top 3.
Yeah, top 3. We're getting to top 3.
Okay, I feel like you might judge me, but my top 3 may seem not shocking to you because that's just the way I am, and these 3 films have some stuff in common that you may go, that's typical Ricky.
Yeah, typical film nerd.
Do not call me nerd. Just a film major.
All right, what's your number 3?
I said The Irishman.
All right.
That movie is just so well done. It's a classic gang. It's not a gangster movie.
Hmm.
It's a movie about gangsters.
Right. Yeah.
It is so depressing and it talks about the repercussions of becoming involved with the gangster life.
Hmm.
Because if there's one thing Scorsese is good at is showing the excess of gangster life.
Hmm.
Most example is Wolf of Wall Street. I don't get why people praise that movie when it teaches you don't do this. Please do not do this. This life is terrible.
Yeah.
That's stockbroker life. This movie, it's not really about money, it's more about power. How do we become overwhelmed with power? And it shows Robert De Niro's character just falling more and more into the mobster life. And then toward the end, he realizes, like, okay, this is what I get with my gangster life. And it's such a well-made film, and everyone's just great. Pacino, Pesci, De Niro, terrific. SS plus rating. Highly recommend it. It's on Netflix.
Yep. You said it perfectly. It's
Yes, sir.
Yep. Sad movie. Very sad movie. Very
Very great.
interesting though. Very just fascinating film. But yeah, it's also very sad.
Okay. All right, Hito. Starting with number top 3.
All
What
right.
is it?
My number 3 film of the year is, and this may come as a surprise to you, is Dolomite Is My Name and Fucking Up Motherfuckers Is My Game.
Oh my god. I am not surprised, but I am still shocked.
Yeah, I just love this movie so much. I know I've said this phrase a bazillion times in the last 10 minutes or so, but I really, really, really liked this movie. I just saw it again yesterday, and it's such a uplifting and inspiring film.
It's such a relieving sense of beauty when you see a film about a minority becoming successful and it doesn't involve pain, misery, or death. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like every film about like minorities is like, oh, their mother died or they got attacked. No, it's just some guy. He created a collective of his community. They worked together. They had doubt, but then in the end, they struck out gold. And now we're talking about it on a podcast. For anybody out there who thinks, if I can't do it, I'll do it myself. And it's such an inspiring film.
Yeah. So inspiring. And for my money, Eddie Murphy deserves the Best Actor Oscar.
Oh,
I think he's amazing in this. And yeah, this is just a really great movie. It's really funny. It's very uplifting. And if you are somebody who is, trying your hardest to make your dreams come true, you will just fall in love with this character.
so number 2, senores. I don't know why I said that, but has my other favorite quote of the year, which is "Don't cry in front of Mexicans." It's Once Upon a Time in Hollywood by Tarantino. It's because actually Tarantino was the one who got me really into film in high school. Well, not really. It was Inarito with Birdman. That was the first movie to make me go, I should study film and do that shit. But then I went through a Tarantino phase where I was like, he's the best filmmaker in the world. And I'm like, there's more than just Tarantino. I'm not that close-minded anymore. But Once Upon a Time, I just love the story of DiCaprio trying to figure out what he wants to do in his life in Hollywood.
Mm-hmm.
That is such a relatable story, and it's such a good story told about him being his anxiety in the film is just too relatable. That's why I love it so much. When he's just crying in his trailer, he's like, God damn it, and he just breaks the window. He's like, I gotta stop drinking. And then 5 minutes later, he like he takes a swig, and he's like, God fucking damn it. And I was like, yeah, I get that. Yeah, I feel that. And then it's just like him crying in front of Brad Pitt. He's like, I don't got it in me anymore. And Brad Pitt, subtle. I don't know if he's racist. I don't know, but he's just like, hey. Don't cry in front of Mexicans. I was like, hey, that's me. I'm like, that's me in the background. And then Brad Pitt is just like a suave kind of guy. Very, very charming. And pretty funny scene where it's like, up to his wife. And then it's just a really awkward sequence.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's why it's not on my list.
Yeah, it's very, very dark humor that I prefer. That's just my taste.
Yeah.
I like very dark humor. That's why Lighthouse is on here. And Parasite, because that movie's kind of dark too. There's a lot of dark jokes in that.
Right.
And, Once Upon a Time, a lot of It has resemblances to Inglourious Bastards, which I also love a lot. That's why I dig it a lot.
Mm.
And it's just such a groovy movie. You put it on the background. It got a nice soundtrack. You see some, cultists getting well. It's a good movie. You see some cultists getting like killed, and it's a good time. Groovy. It's groovy. Denim jackets everywhere. Nice DiCaprio wearing sweaters. It's a good movie. I think it's good. Hito disagrees, but I like it.
No, I think that it is a good movie, and I think it is the best Tarantino movie since Jackie Brown for me.
Yoinks, all you Tarantino stands out there. He has an opinion.
Yeah, I also have problems with that movie, and one of them is Bruce Lee. But yeah, we're not going to talk about that.
That is fair. Yeah, that is fair to say.
Yeah.
All right. So Hito, what is your number 2? I'm making a 2 toward the camera right now.
All right. So number 2, it's a documentary.
Oh.
And
I think I know. I think I know what it is.
I think you know what it is, and this may come as a surprise to many people, but Homecoming, a film by Beyonce.
Oh my! I thought you were gonna say, "Won't you be my neighbor?" I thought
that was last year.
Was it really?
Yeah.
Okay, never mind. Well, Homecoming. Well, okay. Well, I want to hear this explanation.
Listen, if you listen to that episode where I talked about this movie, you would know that I was not a huge Beyonce fan. I thought she was a good singer, good performer. I just had never been a fan of her. But this movie turned me into a Beyonce fan.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, this is a really great documentary, great concert film. I have a soft spot for concert movies, and maybe that's why I put this on the list. But a great concert film will make you feel like you're actually seeing the performance with those people in the arena or just wherever, domes. And this movie gave me that feeling. I felt like I was actually watching her Coachella performance with these people. And this movie also delves into the more personal side of Beyonce's life, her marriage, her life as a mother, and her basically juggling all these different things. And it shows her, great talent as a director and a performer, but also her more, sensitive side as a mother, as a human being. And this movie celebrates Black community. It is a celebration of African American culture, and it is a celebration of being Black and proud. And this movie was inspiring, and it was, very entertaining to watch. And her music is just great. Just seeing the level of dedication that she brought to this Coachella performance just really blew my mind. And yeah, now I'm a Beyonce fan. I really like her.
All right. That one shocked me the most. This entire list, that was the one that shocked me the most.
Yeah, and it's on Netflix. Like, I have so many just Netflix movies on this list, but yeah, it's on Netflix, so you should watch it.
All right, Hito, it's time for I don't know how many drums, but like time for the big one. You might already know what it is for the exact reason why, but like tum 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 tum. Ricardo's favorite movie of 2019, and I will stand anything that involves with this film. It is Marriage Story by Noah Baumbach.
Yeah.
Starring Adam Driver and Scarlett Johansson. Let me tell you something, Hito. What kind of films does Ricky like?
Depressing movies that, make you cry.
But there's a specific subgenre that I very much like.
Divorce.
Toxic relationships. As you know, some of my favorite films in the past have been Cold War, Phantom Thread, If Beale Street Could Talk, and Marriage Story.
That's not a toxic relationship, Beale Street.
It's surrounded by toxicity.
Oh, okay.
I got you there. And this movie is just, oh my god! Just I rewatched the first hour because it was before my flight, and then I started flying. The first hour, oh my god! It's just what I love about Charlie, what I love about what's her
Nicole.
name? What's Nicole? just their entire reading of their vows. Is that what it's called? Yeah. It's just it sets up the characters so well, and Baumbach visually shows you why they are the way they are. And it's like, Nicole likes to cut hair. Charlie is very competitive at games. And then when you see both of them argue, you don't take sides. You just think, oh my god, please stop fighting. There has to be a solution. It's such a well-made film about emotion and marriage, and I don't know how to feel about. I don't take sides, and it shows how lawyers can be grimy individuals. There always are.
Yeah.
But Ray Liotta and Captain Haldo, just kidding, Laura Dern. It's just they're sleazy lawyers that make the process even harder, and it shows you how difficult people could be in relationships, even if they love each other. And the acting, I swear, if I see another context of Twitter was like, oh, this is basic level 1 acting, I will come to your house and burn you. And it's grade A acting. If I want both of them to win best lead, well, I don't know how Her Smell is. I haven't seen Her Smell, but
it's not going to be nominated.
So far, oh my god, I want these two to get the best Oscars. Especially Adam. If he loses that Joker, I will literally chop off my pinky finger like in John Wick 3. I will die. I would legit die if Joker wins over Adam Driver singing that one song in the movie.
Yeah.
But that's Marriage Story. It's on Netflix. It's definitely it's on my Letterboxd list of Love's Complicated list. I definitely recommend it. Check it out. It's a terrific love story. Even though you're not married, it still applies to relationships. So I definitely recommend it. And I think it's Noah Baumbach's been through a lot. His films, oh my god, they've been through such a change.
Yeah, anybody who says that big argument scene is cheesy has never been in a relationship.
Or actually seen one.
Yeah.
It's so good. It's grade A acting and made me cry at least 4 times, like the movie said. Yes, sir. And car seats are bullshit. You'll see when you see it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Very quickly, that the scene right before the ending where they read, where Charlie reads a thing. I'm not gonna say what, but a thing in the room. That was pretty emotional.
I'm start crying again. All right, let's just get to number 1. What is it? Let's go before I start crying again.
All right, so my number 1 film of the year, which drum rolls. Some people most people would say this is a 2018 movie, but I don't care. This movie came out in March here in Japan, so this qualifies as a 2019 movie.
Hey.
It's Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. This movie is great. This is probably my favorite comic book movie of all time. Just the animation is incredible. And you feel like you're actually reading off of comic strips. And this movie took such a complicated idea and turned it into so accessible and digestible. And it's very meta. The humor is great. It's written by Lord and Miller, who of course did the Lego Movie and 2122 Jump Street. So you know what you're gonna get. It's gonna get self-aware. It's gonna be so meta, and it's really funny, but it's also just really exciting. And there are some great heartwarming moments. It's a traditional origin story of someone who is ordinary becoming extraordinary. And this time around, it's Miles Morales, and it's just nice to see him actually on the big screen.
A half Puerto Rican, half black superhero.
Yeah. Great to see a minority character.
Just by him saying "Hola, mama," I was like, yeah, that's me.
Yeah.
That makes a difference. People are like, oh, I had this. Okay, I really hate it. Okay, there's one character where I'm like, okay, that's kind of weird. If it's just like you get a character, you change the origin story to make a different cultural background, and then all these sweaty nerds are like, well, I don't want it. If they use this phrase, don't trust them. I don't want it shoehorned in my movies. That don't trust them. Yeah, if they use shoehorn or don't do it correctly, those are key phrases where it's like,
yeah, but they did it right.
They did it right. It was terrific.
Yeah, and the soundtrack is amazing. I'm not a big fan of like just a hip hop driven soundtrack, but this one really worked for me. And yeah, just a lot of great moments, a lot of quotable lines. It did win Best Animated Film, right?
Yes, it did.
Yeah, one of the few times that the Oscar got it right. So
I mean, what is it gonna go? Did a Pixar movie come out last year?
I feel like it did. Yeah, The Incredibles 2.
Oh yeah, if that lost The Incredibles 2, I would. Oh my god, I would have burned down the Dolby Theater myself. Incredibles 2. A side note: Incredibles 2 is the most okay sequel to a Pixar film ever.
Come on! It's better than Finding Dory.
It's the same thing as 1, with just less love.
I like The Incredibles 2 a lot. So.
No, that's okay. Fine. That's why we're called Minority Opinions. That's fine.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
But oh my god, what a lovely year in film, though.
I can't say the same thing because it was kind of disappointing.
There was a lot of good films, dude.
There were good films. It's just, I don't know, compared to last year and maybe 2 years before, I feel like this is the sort of 2019 is the let's take a break year for film.
What? Oh my god, no. We got terrific films like Glass,
which was kind of good.
Toy Story 4. Rocket Man. Velvet Buzzsaw.
It's not a great movie.
Guava Island.
I haven't seen it.
It's really good. It's on Amazon. Gambino makes a solid film. Hustlers.
Still haven't seen it.
That movie's terrific. Underrated. Booksmart. I know you love that one a lot more.
I really liked Booksmart.
Olivia Wilde said hi to me.
Oh yeah, right. Yeah, you told me that.
But she was like, hi. I was like, hi, Olivia, I'm Ricardo. And she was just like, hi, Ricardo. I was like, she has no idea what I look like.
Yeah.
And then Detective Pikachu.
There are so many movies that I saw about 90 movies this year. And
fucking nerd.
Yeah. I don't mind somebody calling me a nerd, so.
Okay.
I don't have fragile masculinity. But anyways.
No, I just have fragile sensibility to words I don't like.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yes, sir.
That's fine. But yeah. Saw about 90 movies. I can't recommend half of them. The ones that I can recommend, there was only like 20. Last year, there were like 40. There were so many great movies last year. I know like so many people on the internet were like, well, 2018 was kind of a shitty year for movies. Like, really? There was 8th Grade. There was Roma. There was Won't You Be My Neighbor. Mission Impossible Fallout. Like, come on.
Yeah, because there's a lot of good movies in 2018. Fallout was pretty good.
Yeah, Fallout is great. So, compared to that this year, sure, I mean, we had Avengers, we had John Wick, both of which I really liked. But, yeah, just the overall 2019 for film has been,
But 3 films I'm looking very forward to in the new year.
Okay.
Well, they're technically out, but the weird rules.
Yeah.
Well, 4. There's a lot of movies I want to see. I want to see Little Women.
Mm-hmm.
I want to see Uncut Gems.
Mm-hmm.
Cats. I know, very different. Monos. Yeah, Monos.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And Portrait of a Lady on Fire.
No 1917.
There's a lot of movies I want to see. Let's keep that in mind. I can't keep track of all of them. I think we should top it off with spoiler talks for Rise of Skywalker.
All right, so we're getting into the spoiler-tastic zone. So if you haven't seen Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker, maybe this is like pause it right here, go see the movie first, and then come back so you can listen to us chatting about this unfortunate movie.
All right, we're giving you 5 seconds. All right, Hito. So, where do we start?
Should we start with the things we liked or things we didn't like?
Why the fuck is Palpatine back?
All right, so we're going to things we didn't like. I have no idea.
Oh my god, it's just like, yeah, Palpatine's back. He came back as an evil clone. It's like, you know, it's like the original Super Mario Bros. You kill Bowser once in the first level, and then in the very end of the game, it's Bowser but bones and on fire. That's Palpatine. He's a zombie.
Yeah, he's a zombie. And
no one ever really dies.
And they don't even explain it.
They do. It's just cloning.
Is it really cloning, or is it actually...
It's cloning. I don't know who cloned him, but...
Yeah, that's the
thing.
Cloned. Who fucking cloned Palpatine?
I have no idea. I think they established, because, you know, technically, if you want to be all fucking Star Wars nerds, Darth Maul didn't really die.
Right.
His anger was so strong, it kept him alive.
Yeah, and we saw him in Solo popping up out of nowhere.
Yes. So then that's kind of the same thing with Palpatine, I think. After he got tossed into a reactor and got blown up to smithereens on the Death Star, he somehow survived. J.J. Abrams is the most fan-servicey director out there. Let's keep that in mind. That's the problem. He did too much fan service.
For this one, yeah, I agree. A lot of fan service that they don't actually earn. I think that's the difference between Avengers Endgame and The Rise of Skywalker. I think in Endgame, all of the fan service stuff, they earned it.
Yeah, like the example, I don't know why I remember this one. It's like the on your left thing, like stuff like that. Not like, oh my god, the twins stars like Anakin, like Rey. I'm like, oh my god, they copied it.
Yeah, and yeah, I question every creative decision that got into making this movie.
Creative? You mean like executive board?
Yeah, business decision more like.
Business decision, yes. Okay, so Palpatine.
Yeah.
What else?
Rey's lineage gets revealed.
Oh my god.
Which is one
Ugh.
thing that I just didn't. One of the many things I didn't give a shit about this movie, and I didn't need to know, but they did it anyway. This is like, if you loved The Last Jedi, The Rise of Skywalker is a big fuck you to what The Last Jedi was all about. And you're going to hate every decision they make. So in The Last Jedi, if you remember it, Kylo Ren basically told Rey that she comes from nowhere. Her parents are nobody. And that was amazing. Finally, somebody took this story, took this universe, and made it about not Skywalker for a minute. Everybody was speculating when The Force Awakens came out, oh, she's got to be related to Skywalker, because why would her lightsaber align with Kylo Ren's lightsaber, blah, 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 blah. But, like, Rian Johnson is like, hey, let's just, all that Skywalker thing, let's not do that anymore. It's boring. It's predictable. Let's just make her a nobody. And it's a great message. It's that, her Rey being a non-Skywalker person is a message basically says you don't have to be somebody. You don't have to come from this famous lineage to become somebody. You can be a nobody and then become somebody. That's a great message.
Yeah, and it's just weird here. It's just weird seeing Rey being a granddaughter of Palpatine. It's like Palpatine had kids with some woman.
Yeah.
And then the parents, they show them for like half a second. It's like, so they don't. How? Why couldn't it be? It's only because they want to make the parallel between Kylo Ren being the granddaughter of Vader, grandson of Vader, but he's a good guy in his true heart. But he's evil. But then they want Rey to be the good girl with the natural evil inside of her, and they do the old switcheroo.
Yeah, I want to know more about Palpatine's son. I think.
Yeah, I don't.
I think
don't
that
know.
would
He's dead.
That would be a more interesting story. Like how?
Yeah, I really.
How old was he? When did he have this child? Just all kinds of stuff. You can make up a story, a very interesting story, but no, he dies
Very quickly on screen.
Yeah,
He's just stabbed and that's it, or shot. I forgot what happened to him.
stabbed.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
But let's just say I feel like Rey was the most underutilized character in the sequel.
They didn't
trilogy.
They didn't develop any of these three leads well.
The only person I feel like was consistent and had an actual like interesting story arc was Kylo Ren.
Yeah, Kylo Ren is the most interesting character.
Because in Force Awakens, he kills his own dad. Spoiler, if for like a 4-year movie, and he kills his dad, and you're like, oh my god, how can he redeem himself for this? And throughout the movies, he's like, I'm torn apart. I don't know what to do. What's the best thing to do? At one point, he tilts way too far into the dark side, and in this movie, he comes back and he redeems himself, and he dies, and it's like, okay, that's heartwarming that he gave his life for Rey, and that's it. That's it. Han Solo convinces him to be a good guy again. It mimics Force Awakens when he stabs him. Instead, this time he throws the saber away, and that was terrific. But then Rey is just evil naturally because of Palpatine.
Yeah,
that's the basis of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like that shot where they're like, oh no, we're all gonna die now. And then Lando, I love Lando, don't get me wrong. Carl Weathers, he's terrific. Wait, is it Carl Weathers? No, Billy D. Williams. Sorry, he's a Mandalorian. But Billy D. Williams comes in, he's like, hey, we got hope on our side. And then all the ships come in. It reminded me of Endgame when all the ships came in too, and I was like, oh no.
Except in Endgame, it didn't feel so cheesy. This one just felt like, what?
Yeah. And it was like, we don't know any of those ships except for like one.
Yeah.
Whereas Avengers, it's like, we know every single one of those people.
Yeah.
And we know where they come from.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's the thing about how I feel about this movie. Everything leading up to Kylo throwing away his saber, it's a lot of fun. Like, this actually felt like Star Wars once again. You know, a lot of adventure, a lot of banters between, characters that we actually like. And, there's some cool creatures and lightsaber battles and the, dog fights and there was not a lot of dog fights, but like it felt like a good adventure movie that the original trilogy was all about. Kylo throwing away his lightsaber is the emotional high point of this movie for me. That scene hit me pretty hard, but everything after that just felt like a video game. It just, for the first time in my life, I thought to myself, oh my god, Star Wars has turned into a fucking video game.
Now, talk about your theory about Carrie Fisher.
Okay, so my theory about the scene where Han Solo comes back in the form of Kylo's memory, and he basically convinces Kylo that he can still be good. He doesn't have to go full on dark side anymore, and he's conflicted. That scene, I think, was originally going to be done with Leia.
Yes.
Would have made more sense that Leia would not come back, but Leia would force project, and her basically comforting her own son as a mother was probably what they were going to do. Well, what Abrams wanted to do. But Carrie Fisher passed away, and they had to do something to turn Kylo, back to the good guy's side.
How much did you think? I already know what's gonna happen when that guy in the mask is like, "Hell, here, come into my ship on that one planet that with the fireworks, the Mad Max fireworks."
Yeah.
You were just like, "Oh, that's Lando," and just, "Hey guys," I'm like, "That's Lando."
I mean, I knew it instantly. Like, that's got to be Lando.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I mean, there weren't really any surprises. This is the safest movie, even safer than The Force Awakens. Force Awakens actually took some chances. It killed off Han.
Yeah, it killed off Han. You know, this movie felt a lot. No, yeah, never mind. I was thinking Last Jedi, because Force Awakens is just New Hope. Last Jedi was basically Empire, but backwards.
What do you mean backwards?
I think Rian Johnson gave an interview. He said the movie's in backwards because the movie ends with the white planet against the battle of the Empire, and they lost.
Right.
And Rey trains in this gray area with her master, who's kind of weird and cynical, and sees the dark side of herself. And her friends basically lose, and they get betrayed by somebody.
Okay.
But it doesn't feel like it. This movie feels like Episode 6 again, Return of the Jedi.
Yeah.
Because it's this Palpatine again shooting giant lightning bolts into the sky. And he didn't say unlimited power, so that made me kind of sad. He instead quoted, "Do it." So I was like, oh my god. He said it.
Yeah. I completely checked out when he blasted Force Laser into the sky. I couldn't take things seriously at that point. I didn't care if the Resistance won. I didn't care like if Rey actually beat Palpatine. I was like, all right, bye Star Wars that I once knew. Like to me, Star Wars always walked this fine line between cartoony and silly.
Yeah, no one should be like, well, that wasn't realistic. Really, the giant Chewbacca isn't the most unrealistic thing to you.
Yeah.
The laser swords. Like, how come the bombs dropped in space? Oh my god, can't you just believe it? It's a space fantasy. It's a fantasy.
Yeah.
It's not supposed to be real. It's supposed to be fake.
Yeah. And for the first time in my life, this movie, Star Wars, has become stupid. It was never stupid. For me, even the prequels, I have a lot of problems with, the prequels, but I never thought, okay, this is really stupid. The last 30 minutes of The Rise of Skywalker is stupid.
Yeah.
Just
too much,
force
too much
laser
happens.
Force laser in the sky, horses riding on the Star Destroyers. I'm sorry, this has gone really stupid. That really cheesy line where Rey defeats Palpatine, when Palpatine is all like, "I'm all the Sith," and Rey's like, Rey, who was reflecting Palpatine's force laser with, was it Luke's lightsaber and like Leia's lightsaber? I don't know, just one lightsaber.
Oh yeah. They established that Leia is a Jedi.
Yeah, which they didn't even explain. They just did like one flashback scene,
a CGI cutscene that looks like a video game.
Yeah, but
yeah, that looks like a video game.
Yeah, that also felt like a video game, but. Yeah. When she was reflecting it with one lightsaber, she gets another one from Kylo Ren. Was it Kylo Ren? Or did she have it?
She had it because Luke gave it to her on the island.
Okay, so...
Ghost Luke he's there.
Yeah. She pulls another lightsaber and she says, "No, I'm all the Jedi." And I was like, really? Like, you couldn't have come up with better lines?
I think that's the equivalent of like, "I am inevitable, I am Iron Man." Like that's the same energy.
Except one is stupid and the other actually earns emotion.
Yeah. Yeah, Luke. Yeah. There's not a lot of good setups and payoffs in this film. I really hate saying that, but if for a traditional Disney film like this, there's no good setups or payoffs.
Yeah. I
The thing about Leia, what?
no, go ahead.
The thing about Leia, I like how they address that she's a master, like a Jedi master,
Mm-hmm.
because it explains why she's so Force intuitive in Last Jedi.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
That makes sense. So all of you who said that's kind of weird, no, it's not weird. It makes sense now.
See, this is why I can't like go full on. Oh, I hate J.J. Abrams because he ruined Star Wars. Like he had the most difficult task. Carrie Fisher passed away. She couldn't film anything, and supposedly, according to rumors, Episode 9 was going to be Leia heavy, Leia central.
Damn, that is rough.
Yeah, so like he had to come up with something that made sense. They made some sense, and what they do is they used deleted footage from The Force Awakens and The Last Jedi, and I think the way they put those things together and worked around it was actually really well done.
Yeah.
Yeah, like if you didn't know that Leia, that Carrie Fisher wasn't there to film anything, like like for people who didn't know that kind of stuff, they would actually watch it and go, "That seems like consistent." I think JJ deserves a pat on his back for just at least doing something to Leia, and not killing her, but like sending her off in a really respectful way. I think
it was really smart how they made her die with Kylo Ren to show like the bond between their like family bond.
Yeah.
I think good job on that. Good on you, JJ.
Yeah, good on you, JJ. Yeah, a lot of unfortunate decisions. Having said that, though, I did have fun time watching this movie.
Don't get me wrong. Even though the Palpatine scene where he's shooting a goddamn thunderstorm into the sky, I'll watch it again. I don't mind it. It's just as a Star Wars film, I just think, oh my god, we really goofed up here, didn't we?
Yeah,
first two thirds are fine, and then when Poe Dameron starts explaining every single detail on screen, that's where I started like thinking, okay, that's it.
Yeah,
just a lot of small things here, like the new cool bounty hunter girl. They don't use her. The new girl, that Finn. I have a theory why they chose her. I have a theory because notice how there was less Rose in this movie. And they're like, well, we need Finn to have a buddy in this film. So they got the girl. I don't know. I forgot her name. She's from the planet that has the Death Star in it.
She was the one of the stormtroopers that turned good.
Yeah, that was nice.
Yeah,
but they didn't use. I thought Finn's arc was gonna be something that involved that, but it was not really.
They also didn't explain that. They also did a very poor job explaining Finn was Finn. Was it Finn? Yeah, Finn is Force sensitive.
Yeah, apparently I read an interview because of the entire movie. He's like, I gotta tell Rey something.
Yeah,
and you think, oh, he's gonna tell her he has feelings.
Yeah,
I was watching an interview. JJ said, oh no, he was gonna tell her that he's Force sensitive.
Yeah, which is a great idea. It's just
which, oh my god, they just didn't utilize it. That could have excelled the theme of you don't have to be a Skywalker. You could be anybody to be Force sensitive.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
but oh my god, it's frustrating.
Yeah.
This movie, Star Wars, a frustrating story. Dun, 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 dun.
I would have been fine if this movie was 3 hours long. I honestly would have watched a 3-hour long Star Wars movie.
Here's what you do. You make JJ direct, and you get Noah Baumbach to write.
It's going to be people shouting at each other inside of a spaceship.
I'm okay with that. And the movie takes place in Brooklyn.
What?
It's in Kylo Ren and Rey are roommates in Brooklyn, and they have to figure out how to solve this problem.
Oh, you know what they should do? I think they should have Noah Baumbach write a story about the marriage between Anakin and Padme.
Oh my god, that would be terrific. Annie, you're breaking my heart. And he's like, what heart?
Yeah.
All I do is to break your heart, don't I? What about my heart?
Yeah.
My midichlorian.
My midichlorian.
What about mine?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think they should go the domestic drama route.
Domestic Star Wars. It's just it's a stormtrooper and his wife
Yeah.
or her wife. I don't know. Just he comes back from the Death Star. He's like, "How's work?" Just got blown up. What do you mean got blown up? I lost my job. What do you mean lost your job? I got laid off. Okay. He's like, can't we support our family? It's like, okay, woman.
Yeah.
And it's like a what? It's like those little nuns from that one planet Luke was living on, and a stormtrooper's like, they're just arguing the entire movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's that's what you get for hiring the guy who wrote Batman vs Superman and
Justice
League.
Ugh.
Like Disney. Disney's what the fuck, Disney?
Yeah. What the fuck, Disney, and what the fuck, Lucasfilm?
Exactly.
So I guess we're gonna wrap up. Do you have any more things to say, or
just what the fuck?
Just what?
It's just you introduce. Oh yeah, you don't just pretend to kill Chewie and pretend to kill CP3 and bring him back. This movie was no risk, little reward.
Yeah. Yeah.
I recommend it to if you're really into Star Wars. I'd watch it. You're morally obligated to watch it, so it's like what
morally obligated.
Yeah, but if you're not really into Star Wars and you go there just with your wife because it's a new Star Wars, then just don't go.
I mean,
you're gonna be lost.
I think ending it with The Last Jedi is actually perfectly fine. The Last Jedi pretty much answers all the questions that The Force Awakens raised. Whether you like those answers or not, it answers it better than this movie does. So
there's still more decades of Star Wars to come, so let's not get too angry about it. Remember,
yeah, this is never gonna.
It's a movie.
Yeah, it's just a movie, and this is never gonna stop under the Disney banner. So let's answer the thing that I asked earlier in this episode. Where would you rank this?
Okay, Skywalker, 9 movies. Skywalker saga. It's gonna be Attack of the Clones, Phantom Menace, Revenge, Rise of Skywalker, Return of the Jedi, New Hope, Force Awakens, Last Jedi, and Empire Strikes Back.
All right. Okay. That's not too bad.
Yeah. Not too bad. I don't like Return of the Jedi. I watched it again recently. I don't like it. Because of Ewoks. That's why. Ewoks.
Which do show up in this movie.
Oh my god. That pissed me off so much.
Yeah. Yeah. A lot of... Do you remember this? Do you remember that? Do you remember these creatures? Yeah. A lot of...
More than Rogue One.
Yeah. A lot of finger pointing at things we have nostalgic feelings for.
Okay. Your turn, Hito.
Phantom Menace. From the bottom, Phantom Menace. Rise of Skywalker.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I'm gonna get so much hate for this. Attack of the Clones, Revenge of the Sith, New Hope, Return of the Jedi, Force Awakens, Empire: The Last Jedi.
All right, sounds fair. Rise of Skywalker. That was a big one.
Like I just don't want to. I want to rewatch parts of this movie again. I just don't want to see the whole thing.
I agree. Just Jedi, the Sith Temple stuff. Oh my god! That's the last act. Oh my god.
Yeah.
All right. I think we should wrap it up because we've been talking about Star Wars long enough.
Yeah. Way too long.
Hito, thank you again for being a terrific host this year. Because next time we talk will probably be in 2020 for cast review.
Oh god.
Yes, sir.
I'm not looking forward to that. And thank you, Ricardo, for being an amazing host and sharing your knowledge on Star Wars.
You're welcome.
Yeah,
wiping my boogers, my sweat,
my
beanie.
Beanie. And thank you for all you lovely listeners for listening to this episode and the pretty much all the episodes leading up to this one. It's like Star Wars. Everything lead up to this grand finale.
Nothing ever ends.
Yeah, nothing ever ends. Yeah, go subscribe and review us on Apple Podcasts and leave us a 5-star review and we will read it out loud on the podcast. I mean, you know all the things we say at the very end of every episode, so I'm not going to recite that again. our very first episode of 2020. We're going to do best of 2010s, and maybe if Ricardo has seen Cats by that point, maybe he will talk about it. But
Which I will.
okay. But our main attraction for the first episode is best of 2010s. So we're going to talk about how many movies? 10, 15?
I need to make a list, so we'll figure it out.
Yeah, so we're going to talk about some of our favorite films that came out between 2010 and 2019.
Hey,
and Ricardo is going to Mexico for the new year.
not like touristy Americanized Mexico, like real Mexico, because I have family there, so like
Yeah. So
no Cancun, like
no Cancun, no Tijuana.
no. I mean, and it depends. It really depends, but yeah, Mexico.
Yeah. So I wish you a very safe trip, fun trip.
Very fun.
Yeah, and I'm gonna be working my ass off for the rest of the year and New Year's.
Hey.
Yeah, no fun travel for me.
All right.
And
just green tea and sadness.
Yeah, green tea and sadness.
That's a good title for something. I don't know what, but something that's really good. I gotta write that down.
Your future script.
Oh shit! It's starring a Japanese Mexican man. Holy shit! That's a combination.
It's doable.
All right. Well, signing off of 2019.
All right. We will see you all next year
on Minority Opinions podcast. Later, y'all.